So I just wanted to bring this kind of like a interview style because I got the Taylor Swift magazine and Rolling Stones, and that purchase was such a good buy for me. People are talking about it all the time, and they're just like, okay, so we have this idol, this queen, this lovely person, living being who is just like anybody you could wish for to be the crowned glory. She's like, her mom makes her so proud, and she's like, I'm not telling you if I have a boyfriend, and then it's like, oh, are you engaged? And it's just like, yeah. Well, she just has like uh so much that's special about her. I'm literally like one step, two steps below her, okay? I'm like, yeah, I did live at home. I got a 3.7 GPA, or technically it's 3.67, and then I went to college and got extra credits. And then that could be raised higher to like a 3.8, which was my average in high school. In middle school, it was 4.0. In elementary, it was just pass. You do all the work, and then they're like, you got participation, you win, go on. So it's just like, she's like, I have no interest in drinking. And when she was 19, I've never touched a cigarette. I've never smoked a cigarette. I was like that too. And I was just like, okay, so you guys, like, I understand, right? The name I was born with is really hard to carry around with you. And I'm like, someday later, and when the escape has provided me enough of this insurance of just having that Social Security, I'm like, thank goodness I have that. Where now my name has been changed, and I'm just like, okay, but here's a big thing about this is just like, I am saying all these things, and then I'm like, trash it, because it's just like, perfectionism does that to you. And I'm not trying to say that as anything that you need to adopt for yourself and your principles, but I just want you to know that once you go all the way to enlightened, you fall again. They're like, oh, we fall in love and light, faith, generosity, gratitude, appreciation, and then it's just like, you're gonna fall. Because even if you have grown wings, it's like the powers of the world are still accepting that there is something so bright. Because, like, okay, physically, I look and the light follows me. I'm like, this is not what the whole rest of the background of what I was looking at was looking like. It was not like what was in front of me was just like buildings and scenery, and it's just like the light being so bright that I'm like blinking, and I'm just like, okay, so can I accept this yet? Can I say we're all geniuses? Everything is working as it's supposed to. It doesn't matter if everything is was planned, because like we have so much that we are like prepared for, that it's just like, come on. Do you really need to carry that much stuff with you? Do you really need to be A plus boss bitch as everyone? And I'm just saying, like, if you are like so entitled and so elite that it becomes something for you to brag about, something where you're like, oh, I have this, I've done this, I've achieved this, I gold, like I got all the goals in the goalie bin, and then you're like, people keep asking, okay, yeah, I get it, that's nice, are you done? And then it's just like, why should I put myself in any sort of situation where someone would think that there's a crisis with me because I'm achieving so much? It did say in the magazine that her third gear was an insane level of being driven. And I'm like, I know, I get it, Taylor, I get it. But don't even think I'm talking to you, because like it's just like I have like this egocentric, like totally like everything has to be about me, and if it isn't, then it doesn't make sense. And then I'm like, I don't understand you because I'm so high up in heaven. It's just like I know you guys want to be like, yeah, we love her, she's amazing, she's adorable, she's incredible, admirable, but it's just like, whenever you have the things that you need to take care of yourself, these things mean less. Because I was looking at it like we go so far into revolution and just having that uh, variety of everything that we have collected and gathered, and then it's like you already know in the games we're turning it in, and then it's just like it goes back to the NPC. Well, it's just like we have gamma rays wherever in space they come from. You know that they're accepting what was old for us because the old already did all the proving that there was to be done, right? But it's just like you don't have to know that. I've been saying like I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. When people are coming up to me, I'm just like I have an entire package of information to give you, but when I'm like, yeah, it's ready, yeah, it's available, but like I have to actually like find the way to explain it and talk about it and have it be something of a discussion or a topic. And then I'm like, oh, no, I don't care about it that much. I'm not allowed to say I don't care because, like, people I was talking to, the ones that I was like, oh my God, you're so relatable. I love you. You're my best friend. Then I was just like, I gotta say, I care a lot. And then after things happen, then I'm like, I don't care. Listen, you guys, you're like so much like, oh, we gotta go on forever. We gotta go on for an eternity. Always, everything has to be perfect. No, look at yourself, but don't actually look because like there are like things that I'm like this. Whatever you want to believe, does it help you? And if it doesn't, then why are you doing it? You know, it's just like, uh, we don't have tons of things that we're trying to accept for ourselves each and every moment. We are still going like, I would say I care about a leaf or a clover. You know, it's just like, I said that online. I'm just like, we don't even have like you talk about the internet and all these like technology and all this like oh smart glasses that can take pictures. That's great. I'm just like you guys bunk. You guys like you have this so like oh it's so integrated. It's so inviting, but it's also very specific. Is the message that I was hearing from like people who were like, yeah, we care, it's okay, we care, and I'm like, okay, that's very nice, right? And then people are like going all cringy, and they're just like, very nice, but if I feel ugly because I'm smiling so much, that there are so many things that have like come to get me, I'm like, you know, there's not a such thing as paranoia, right? I'm like, I'm saying that when you have it is just like, what other examples do you have to put in your portfolio? Seriously? Okay. Uh, I've been just looking at like the top tier, the top like, oh, you gangers, you bangers, all you sweet, smooth, cool. You explain for me because like there is some way that you've accepted that I can be a part of your life. And then I'm like, I don't even think this is a life. Like you're like, oh my gosh, in Louisiana we got so many glitches when that guy came and visited, and I was like, it's gonna be so perfect. And then he was there, and it was like everything was messing up. Well, you realize there's glitches, right? No. Uh, there's a lot of things where we're like, oh, we went and we did this, and then we stayed with it. We stuck it out. I'm like, yeah, but I think what we're trying to make is something that is like uh affluence. You know, it's just like so I got A's and one F and then I got A's. And I'm like, a lot of the times I'm thinking to myself, I can do this. Yeah, I'm smart enough to do this. I'm strong enough. I'm free enough. And then I'm like, that is what I would think if I were divine. But I was like, I don't feel it, and it may not be a miracle for me. I'm just like, for me. Here, so when I was like, I prayed for this, it's a miracle that it happened. Like, everything that we're doing is something that we're just gonna be like, what did you get out of that? This is interesting, but what did you really get? And I'm like, well, I say I a lot. And I'm like, I did this. I feel this way. I think this way. And I'm like, I didn't give you concretion for that. Like, I didn't give you, like, a history or references of, like, a whole bunch of ways that it did this for me repeatedly. We're not repeatedly. We have the button, right? We're like, I'll turn that song on again. I want to listen to it like 15 times a day. And then it's like, you're like, oh, so this is going to sound different to me the next time that I hear it. We are doing things that are unembarked. Okay, so I'm like, I don't want to be compared to a bitch, and I'm sorry. That's what I'm like, okay, I even if I had to say the word to explain, I'm like, okay, so I'm not a female dog, and I'm not someone who's bowing down to every last person who has something to say. If you knew me when I was like 12 or 13, then you would have been like, oh my gosh, this girl is doing everything spiritual. Like, it's just like out of the park. You're gonna hit a home run, and you're gonna be cheering with the team, and then it's just gonna go down to like the ballpark has these people that are like, oh, they're wiping their tears, they're yawning, and they're like just about something other. And that is something that I'm like, okay, so do I have to use my name? And they're like, yeah, you do. But we're not asking you to like everything that happens. I'm just like, yeah, but you are. And I'm like, you want me to like everything. Because when I said I didn't like it, then, wow, he goes away. I'm like, away is like, you made a movement, and that's usually when you're talking about like you're getting better, because like half of the world and more is sick. That's why we were turning it into like a rock star type of thing to say.